One of the all-time iconic shrubs in the South is the camellia. And boy, have I got a treat for you today. We're at Camellia Forest Nursery in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. And this is David Parks, Mr. Camellia himself. And we are going to be talking about how to grow camellias successfully in your garden. And David, I'm so happy to be here today. This is just spectacularly beautiful.
Oh, I'm glad you're here. It's a good time.
Yes, it is, because all the japonicas are in bloom,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, in Tennessee, we tend to grow two basic flavors of camellias. They're the japonicas, which bloom. When would they start? Maybe January?
They can start in January.
Yeah.
It just depends on the weather.
But it goes into the spring season.
Yeah, it can go into April.
And then we also grow sasanquas, which start in late summer, early fall for us, maybe?
Yeah, probably early October.
Yeah, that would be right. And they go on into December in a lot of cases. Yeah. How about this one right here, right by me?
Yeah. So this is April Trist. This is one of the plants that survived that -9 winter. So it's just one of the most cold hardy ones. Tends to be a little bit later blooming, so like March into April blooming.
So that helps with bud, they don't get frozen too early or something.
Right, yeah, the early blooms, we can get some freezes that freeze the flowers, but so this is real dependable, real heavy blooming. I mean, you can see the heavy bud
Look
set.
Look at this.
That may be too many buds.
That's insane.
But
that's
yeah,
crazy.
it will set a lot of buds.
I've had good luck with the April series in general. April Remembered is just one of those delicate, gorgeous things. And I just love the pastel tones of this. What flower form is this? I know camellias come in different sort of arrangements of flowers.
Yeah, this is a semi-double flower form.
Okay.
Which means there's kind of 2 layers of petals surrounding a boss of stamens in the center.
That's this golden part.
So usually, I mean, it could be, sometimes it's 3 layers, but 10 to 20 petals, just depending on who you talk to. But they are, this is one of my dad's favorites, and he named it April Remembered because it was, or it is like Bernice Bodie.
Yeah.
That's one of the
parents, right?
One of the parents that he used that turned out to give a lot of cold hardiness to many of his seedlings.
Oh, that's fantastic. It's just so beautiful. I just love this one, this kind of very formal arrangement of petals. What is this form called?
This is called the formal double form.
Okay.
So formal double, the definition is it's all petals arranged in layers, and you don't see any stamens.
I see, yeah, like that golden boss we saw in that other one isn't there.
Right.
Okay.
So that would formal double.
This is April Rose, correct?
Right, yes. And it's a late bloomer, and this was the only one that even tried to open the flower after the -9.
Really? So it's super hardy.
Yeah, super
you can have
hardy.
something this gorgeous and it's that hardy.
Yeah.
That is just spectacular. This is another one I've had really good luck with.
Yeah.
Pink icicle.
Does it bloom heavily for you too?
It is a very enthusiastic bloomer, which is a wonderful thing.
Yes.
And I also like its habit, which tends to be upright. So.
Yeah, I really like it because it's so prolific.
Yeah.
It's just has a lot more blooms than many varieties.
And they're big. They're a nice size.
Yeah. And that's probably partly from one of its parents is a Camellia Williamsi, which is a hybrid that's very floriferous.
Okay, it's really a really good-looking plant.
Yeah.
I've seen these planted in a row, almost like a hedge, and it was quite successful that way. And it got morning sun.
Yeah.
And we're happy.
Yeah. Camellias will make a good hedge. A little pruning to shape it so they fill in when they're young.
I just whack it off when it's doing something wanky out to the side or something.
Yeah. And they'll but you have to be patient.
Yes, indeed. I just love these dark toned flowers, but this one in particular is amazing.
Yeah,
Tell me the name.
This is one called Kuro Delight.
Okay.
And Kuro is in Japanese is black, so it got the one of the parents was Kuro Sabaki, which just means black camellia.
Okay.
In Japanese, and this was a seedling of that. It turned out to be very cold hardy.
Oh, yay!
This is one from Dr. Ackerman.
Oh yeah, New Jersey, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so that's and it tends to be fairly late blooming, and has a real dark red flower.
This has almost a blue cast to the petals.
Yeah, this the blue color often appears as the flower ages, and also when the soil is more acidic. It's kind of like the blue in hydrangeas.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Tell me about this one.
This is one called Korean Fire, and
this one is incredibly hardy.
It is,
right? Yes.
Supposedly, it survived minus 23 Fahrenheit.
My goodness.
In Pennsylvania. This is one collected by Barry Yinger.
Oh yeah.
He went to
famous collector.
Korea, right near the north-south border in Korea.
Oh right.
There's some islands off the coast, off the west coast.
Okay.
Where some camellias were supposed to exist.
Okay.
So he
found them.
He used some bottles of alcohol to bribe some army officials and got there and collected. He collected seeds, collected cuttings, and brought back quite a bit of plant material that was grown by various people.
Yeah, because they have harsh winters there. It's ameliorated a little bit by the ocean, but
must
still.
be pretty harsh.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
But I saw pictures, it's probably the whole place is like deforested, and there's these few little camellia shrubs out in the open, completely full sun.
Oh wow!
So they're tough plants.
This is a rugged one.
Yeah.
So Korean Fire, folks, if you really want, and it's just a straight ahead, true crimson red.
Yeah. And
really beautiful.
Tends to bloom quite early.
Okay.
As soon as we get some mild weather in January,
it starts.
We'll get some flowers.
Okay.
And it blooms for it'll bloom for 3 months. So.
This is a camellia that I use all the time. We're looking at sasanquas now, the fall bloomers. And this is one of my favorites. And you've got a nice number of them. They're really beautiful.
Yeah, this is a popular one. This is called Shishigashira. It's a lion's head.
There's a Japanese maple with the same name.
That's right. And this one starts blooming in November and just keeps blooming. It just finished blooming probably the end of February.
Yeah, they just had this really, really long season of bloom. And another thing I really like is in a smaller yard where you don't have room for a big camellia, they have this low spreading habit as a shrub, so they really are very complementary to a courtyard or a smaller garden bed, and and the color is for me is this really warm coral pink, deep coral pink. I would call it.
Yeah, so bright.
And what would you say, semi-double flower?
Yeah, I call it a semi-double. And when it's blooming, the whole plant is covered with flowers.
Right. It is. It is a very, very heavy blooming plant, just a really great one, and does great in Nashville, but all through Tennessee, just a really great plant. And I wanted to talk really quickly while we're here about when to prune camellias, whether it's japonicas or sasanquas. When do they make buds? So you don't want to be cutting the flowers off.
Right. So both types will make buds in May.
Okay.
Because I'll start seeing the flower buds in June. So they're starting.
They've been working on them for a little while. Yeah.
So you need to do your pruning before they start making the buds.
Okay.
With sasanquas, it's easy. You can do it in February when they're dormant. And
they've finished blooming, obviously.
With japonicas, you kind of need to do it right after they finish blooming.
Okay.
So April.
Okay, right in the middle of the spring.
Yes,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's good to prune them before they even start growing.
Okay, good tip. So folks, don't whack on any of your camellias like in August or July, because you're cutting off next year's flowers. Don't do it.
That's right.
So in the Nashville area, for example, we really need help with how to plant them and have success.
Right. Yeah, so, you know, camellias do prefer acidic soil.
Right.
They prefer a pH of 5. It's
Wow,
probably,
that's pretty low. Yeah.
5.5 is probably, you know, ideal. But they're tolerant of a wider range.
Right. Yeah.
But you can acidify your soil using sulfur, which takes a while.
Right.
Or ammonium sulfate.
Which is fast acting but a little harsher.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Adding organic matter is going to also help.
Right.
So if you mix compost with your existing soil, it's not necessarily lowering the pH, but it's going to help.
Okay. It helps buffer the soil so it doesn't get too alkaline. I know that. Do they have a wide, shallow root system, or do
they do have a wide, shallow root
okay,
system.
so a wide hole, amended well.
Ancient camellias will form a taproot.
Okay.
But it takes a million decades for them to start making a taproot.
Okay.
You know, I've moved some old camellias, like 30-year-old camellias, and most of their roots are in the top 6 inches of the soil.
Really?
But they have a few roots that are going down.
Amazing.
Yeah,
so that tells us where we really need to fix the soil up for them.
Yeah.
And it also points next to their water needs.
Yeah.
That would be a plant that's not drought tolerant. Am I correct?
Well, in our experience, they are pretty drought tolerant.
Once they're established.
Once they're established.
Yeah. What about location in lighting?
Lighting, they need some shade.
Yeah.
I would say, you know, like 3 or 4 hours of sun is enough sun for the japonicas.
Morning or afternoon? Does it matter?
I don't think it matters that much.
Okay.
But what they really need is the winter shade.
Okay. So they don't get scalded and sunburned.
Right. Yeah, that combination of sun and cold on the evergreen foliage, that just damages the foliage.
Okay.
So often the north side of the house is much better.
Okay.
It may sound colder, but it's better for the camellias.
Yeah. So it's a more rugged plant than people think.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
And it's a wonderful, I mean, we're always looking for really good looking evergreen plants for shade, and you know, what a great thing. The last one that I really wanted to get your opinion on was the Winters series of sasanquas.
Yeah. There's a whole bunch of them out there, but they are some of the Dr. Ackerman ones that are very cold hardy. Kind of right now you see a few that have been real dependable.
Right, like this one, Winter's Snowman. Of course, none of these are blooming because we're shooting in the spring, and these are fall bloomers. But Winter's Snowman is a snowy white. It's kind of an informal, semi-double.
Yeah, it varies, semi-double to anemone form.
Okay.
Where, you know, sometimes they'll have a whole little ball of white petaloids in the center.
Oh, in the middle, yeah.
But not every flower.
Right.
But very vigorous.
And super reliable.
Yeah.
And most of the Winters are. And the good news is, folks, is that they're widely available. I mean, it's rare to find a nursery that does carry camellias that doesn't have one or more of the Winters series. So it's great advice. Listen, I want to thank you so much for sharing your wisdom.
I'm glad you came.
Oh, it's just been a treat, and camellias are one of my personal favorites, and it's lovely to hear about them and have you share your knowledge with us.
Sure. I hope more people grow them.
I hope so too. If you like gardening, you'll want to subscribe to this channel. We showcase gardeners, plants, and the sheer joy that growing can bring.